Hey, what's up, guys? This is Crypto Clutch or John, whatever you want to call me. This video is going to look a little bit different, obviously, as this is going to be the video talking about costs. Uh, so basically, what I have in front of you is a spreadsheet. I want to say it's probably about 90 to 95% complete. I'm probably missing some stuff, but that's beside the point. So I just want to quickly run down, all this stuff, and we'll kind of explain, what I used it for. Maybe if I get enough requests, I have a couple of links um, to where you can buy some of this stuff. I mean, if you want to copy it, I'm gonna need a lot of requests to go get a link for all this stuff. I mean, basically, if you Google this, I mean, you're gonna find something similar. You might not find it at this price, but I mean, it'll be close. Just this is kind of like a good, estimate of what you should be paying for this kind of stuff, or what I paid for it. And I do know there's a couple things where I could have paid less. For example, the PDU. Well, the PDUs I did pretty good, but you can probably find a better deal on USBs. There's something else. Ethernet cables. That's not a bad price. Um, where is it? The C13. This right here. I could have gotten a lot better price on this. The 280 for the. This is an 18. Well, most of them are 18 allo gauge, which is pretty small wire. I definitely could have gotten, you know, 14 gauge for even less than this price on a website that I might link if you guys are interested. Um, I think it was like $2 or something like that a cable for a 14 allo gauge cable, which is pretty good. Um, so quickly, obviously 200 amp panels. That that's um, okay. I was saying there's probably some stuff that I'm missing on here, but I mean it's just a rough estimate of what I did. Uh, so let's go back to this. So 200 amp panels, you can get those. They're the home line panels. You can get those at Home Depot, the contractor kit, for about $90, and it comes with two 30 amp breakers and three 20 amp breakers. Uh, Now I was saying that I could get more 30 amp breakers for $7 a piece, and I needed 28 total. Obviously, I didn't pay for all 28 because some 8 of them came with the panels that I got. But just for, I didn't exactly pay $7. It just averaged out to $7 for what I paid, which came out to $200 and just under $360 for the 4 panels. Um, the 10-3 wire came out to be about $250, 43 cents a foot. I used just under 600 feet of 10-3 wire going from each panel to each box. It could have been more if I had, if I did it different, like if I spread it out more and put outlets in each one, but I just made wire nuts up because I figured that was cheaper. Because if you did an outlet, 28 outlets along this wall, which would mean you need 28 boxes that are they're only like 50 cents a piece, but the outlets and covers are like $7 to $8 a piece, so that's adding another $8 per um, PDU you have, which I mean adds up. I mean, it's like $300, something like that. I don't know, but so that's those three things, which these are kind of big ticket items, but not that big. Then we got the ground wire, which is what I use to run. You can kind of see it right here. It's just the ground that goes to the ground rods that you have to have for code here, and I would want to do that anyway. So in case you get hit by lightning, it has a less chance of ruining all your stuff. 30 amp PDUs. I got these on eBay for a pretty good deal. Um, the average price was $30 for all 28 that I have, which came out to be $840 in PDUs. Um, Ignore the Telegram. That's beside the point. I don't think I don't have the PDUs in this picture, but well, there is one there. But anyways, you guys have seen them in the last video I made. The shed. Now this isn't. This is like the total price of it installed and all that stuff. I do need to add. Well, now I guess I can go in the MISC the, to get it inspected. Well, not inspected. Um, to get it a building permit, it was about $150 or something like that. I had to pay to the city in order to get the building permit, mainly because of the amount of power I was putting into it. That was most of the cost. I think that alone was like 120 out of the 150. The other 30 was like just getting them to come out and inspect it or whatever and approve it. Then I was saying shelving. I have 4 racks. I'd say I paid $20 average for them, which comes out to $80. This is the other big item. Oh, I didn't finish talking about the shed. Sorry. This came with delivery. Is included in this price. 4 hurricane straps in case we get some really high winds to hold it down is included in this price. Center blocks, to make it level was included. That's basically all. But I mean, I definitely could have gotten a cheaper way if looks didn't matter, because I mean I could have gotten a 40-foot or 20-foot container for $2,000 to $3,000 delivered here. But the thing about that is a lot harder to work with because it's metal instead of wood. But definitely a cheaper option. Okay, I already talked about shelving. The fans. So the fans that I got from QC Supply it was technically only like $215 per one, but that didn't include shipping. So with shipping, it was like another $20 for each one, which comes out to about $952 for the 4 fans that I have. Now, I might recommend going with a bigger fan because this is only 6,000 CFM. It's plenty for what I do. I think. I mean, so far it's been working out pretty good, but yeah. I mean, it's $952. That's quite a bit for fans, but you gotta have it. So the C13 to C14 cords, that's what goes from the PDUs to the miners. $2.80. Like I said, you can do a little bit better on a couple websites, but I paid $2.80 for 120 cords, which comes out to be about $340. Then this Cat 6 cable, which is the 2 lines that are ran from the house to the shed underground. So this is direct burial rated, and I paid about $82 for 1,000 feet. I couldn't really find anything cheaper. I mean, you can get normal Cat 6 for about half that price, but I wanted the direct burial because I didn't want to run like a conduit all the way underground. Now, next thing is 10-foot Ethernet cables. These are like patch cables. I probably could have gotten even shorter ones now that I think about it, but I mean, I got a lot of 50 for $1 a piece, and then I got a couple other for around the same price. So I just put 75 10-foot Ethernet cords, and I paid $1 a piece. The Ditch Witch rental, which was not really a Ditch Witch, but anyways. The thing I used in that video where I dug the Ethernet lines, it originally cost about $102, but they gave me some money back because I brought it back within 4 hours. So I think it came out to be about $75. But I mean, this is kind of like one of those things where it depends on, what your local places are. I did this from Ace Hardware, so I mean, probably most people in the U.S. could get this similar rate. But anyways, definitely recommend this tool. I mean, it shook my hands like a lot. But anyways, so next the steel grates, which it's kind of hard to see, but it's this thing over here in the floor. It's the filter in the videos. If you've watched my previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. It's this thing. Those were $238 a piece. I bought 2 of them, which comes out to be just under $500. The 1/4-inch welded wire, this is like the chicken wire that goes underneath this filter. It's just there to keep the bigger, bigger insects, rodents, stuff like that. Try and keep them out. Um, I needed 3 per 15 foot, and they're $10 each. So that's $60 on that. Filters were $12 each. I need $24 worth of filter every month if I change it. That it's just basically whenever they get dirty, I'm gonna change them. I paid $60 for the first batch just so I have extra. Aluminum triplex. This is the main wires coming in to the CT. I mean, it's terminated right there, but that's the main wires coming in that can hold, the big load, like 200 amps per phase. So that's $1.94 a foot. I bought about 100 feet of it. I had like 9 feet extra, so I mean, I did pretty well. I paid $194 for that. Now, Cat 6 connectors, that was just to make up the ends on the network. I bought 100 of them for $15. You could probably do cheaper. Yeah, I mean, I know you can do cheaper, maybe like $8, $9, $10, but I mean, it's whatever. The automatic lights. Now, this is for the light switch that you can't see in this video, sadly, but it's right over here. You definitely don't need something. Like, you can get a light switch for like $3 or $4, if that. But I like the lights to come on automatically. You can probably do it even for cheaper, like $20. But I mean, I had this stuff laying around, but it is technically worth about $50. So I put it on here as $50, because if you were gonna do that to save, so it automatically comes on and automatically cuts off for you, it'd be about $20 to $50 depending on what kind of system you go with. Now your 10 to 100 megabit switch, I got them for pretty good deals at $25 each. Some of these are managed, some of them are not. One of them is the one coming in that I'm using right now for my main line in, because I can have 2 lines and it makes it into one steady connection. But I got them for about $25 each on average. I have 5, so $125. Installation, I used 3 rolls on that left wall, and I had a little bit extra to do a little bit on the front wall, but it was $45 a roll at Lowe's, which comes out to $135. Now, 16 gigabyte USBs, I talked about this a little bit earlier. It's $3 for 10. Well, it's basically, you can get them on Amazon for about $30 for 10 of them, which comes out to $3 a piece. You can probably definitely get it cheaper on like some China Direct, but I don't really like waiting months for items to come in. It's just a headache, and you never know what kind of quality you're gonna get with that. So I paid $30 for 10 16 gigabytes USBs. If you guys know a cheaper place where I can get them, definitely let me know, because I go through them like crazy with my miners and Hive and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, MISC. I mean, there's definitely some stuff that I missed out on, so I kind of just put this in here as like, yeah, you're gonna have some costs. Like, I know there's some OSB board that I paid, $20 for here and there. Screws that I paid for. I mean, there's some glue. I mean, there's all sorts of just like little charges that add up to be quite a bit, that I can't think of. And I didn't have time to go through all my receipts and look at every single thing I paid. I would say that this total that's currently blacked out is probably pretty close to what I paid in total for the shed. I mean, it might be a little bit less than what I paid, but I mean, it's just a ballpark. I mean, there's no way you're gonna do it for the exact same price, because I got a lot of this stuff on eBay, and then also with discounts because of where I work. They're big volume, so I got discounts from that. But that's beside the point. And also, like, some of it's based on your local places, and then are you doing the work, and then or are you hiring someone? If you're hiring someone, it's going to be a lot more, because doing this stuff is not easy. It takes a lot of time, and especially electricians, they like to charge a lot because of what I just said. So the last thing that I added while when I was looking at this was 30 by 36, 36 inches by 36-inch box, which is on the outside of this shed. It's the box where I have the main power going into. I paid about $350 for this, just for the box that didn't come with anything. Um, I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I can quickly think of. I mean, this is the main stuff. There might have been a few other charges that I'm missing out on, but I think I got all the main expensive stuff. If I didn't, maybe I'll tell you guys in an upcoming video, but let's go ahead and reveal the total cost for my shed. So it looks like we are just above $10,000, $10,100 for my estimated cost. Like I said, it's probably a little bit higher, but I would say no more than like 10,500. I don't think I messed that much up. I mean, if you want to be safe, just call it 10,500 to build my 800 amp mining. Well, it's really a 1600 amp mining shed if you include both phases put together. It's 800 amps at 240 volts or 1600 amps at 120 volts. Granted, I would need a different type of breaker, but that's beside the point. So this is, if you're doing all the work by yourself, and I mean, how to run all this stuff, and if you watched my videos and you kind of know a little bit about electrical and just are pretty handy, I mean, you could do this. I mean, it wasn't terribly hard. I mean, it just took a lot of time. It took me a little over 4 weeks to get everything up and running. And that was with me working like every day, but not like 8 hours. I only worked 8 hours on the weekends because I have a 7 to 3:30 job. But I worked pretty much, from 3:30 to like 7 to 9, depending on what I felt like doing afterwards. So I mean, it's definitely a lot of work. Do I think it's worth $10,000 for sure? I mean, could you do it for cheaper? Yes. I mean, like I said, you could save on the shed. I mean, the shed, that's like a really big cost, and you can cut that in half if you built the shed yourself, or if you bought a shipping container. But the thing about shipping container is it is much harder to work with, as you're cutting metal instead of wood. But I mean, there is lots of options, and then I could have done something where I didn't need the fans at all. Well, I mean, I couldn't have, because I guess I could have did less fans, but you can cut holes in the side of the building, and you can exhaust ASIC miners right out the side with this like a little 90 attachment, like a 90 PVC pipe, and just stick it out that way. No water can get in. But I mean, I didn't think it was worth doing. But this is the basic cost of what I put into the shed. Now, I don't think I have. Yeah. So this is kind of what I currently have as far as miners go. I have. Well, this is not accurate. I have 16 Bitmain S9s, one L3 Plus, 14 T9 Plus, 1 NO A9, 6 Danzig Z1s, 43 AMD GPUs, and 25 NVIDIA GPUs. Now, I have a couple more that are broken, but I didn't count those. Now, I'll just quickly, for anyone who doesn't know, this is a Bitcoin miner. This is a Litecoin miner or a script miner. This is a Bitcoin miner. This is an Equihash miner. So right now I'm mining Zcash or Pirate Chain. Danzig, this is a Monocoin. This was originally a Vert Hash, but they forked a long time ago. Basically, your choices are Monocoin or Verge. And then AMD, I'm mostly mining ETC right now, but I think I'm going to move one rig over to ETH. NVIDIA GPUs, I'm mostly mining Beam and Raven. And some of my 1060s I'm mining ETC, but I would say what I paid total was just under $24,000 for all my miners. I would say most of them are worth a lot more than that now, but I mean, at the same time, I don't. The it's all depending on the market, you know. Right now would be a great time to buy hardware. I mean, S9s are going for like $150 to $200 with PSU. T9s are like $75. Don't buy L3s; they're worthless right now. Um, A9s, I mean, they're not that great. But I mean, S17s, anything like that. I mean, um, those are still expensive, but they're really worth it. I mean, you can get some really good hash rates once someone comes out with a free firmware to overclock them. But that's beside the point. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you put those two together, yeah, I'm looking at like a $34,000 investment. Um, and I mean, I have this thing that shows ROI um, of 8 months. Well, I don't know what this with Shed is, but 8 months on this 24 grand. But this was, oh geez, I don't know. I mean, this was probably weeks ago when I did the calculations because I really don't think that my S9s are making profit $30 a day right now. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. Yeah, I know. So it's maybe like $15 to $20 a day right now. So it's definitely not right anymore because Bitcoin. This was probably when Bitcoin was about 10 grand, and now it's at 8 grand. But um, I mean, it doesn't. I'm kind of in this for the long haul. I mean, obviously, I had to sell whatever I have to pay for electricity because I mean, I'm going to be using actually a little bit more than this, like 260 to 270 amps at 240 volt, which comes out to quite a bit even at my electricity rate. Um, so I'm definitely gonna have to be selling a lot of my stuff to pay for the electricity. But whatever I don't have to, I'm gonna try and hold as much as I can. Um, I mean, I would still say it's probably within a year ROI, but I mean, I think it's gonna be a lot sooner than that with the Bitcoin halving coming up and all that stuff. But okay, I've been rambling for a while. I want to shout out Red Panda Mining, Vosscoin, just Brennan's Coin, and Curse Mining. Definitely check them all out. And like I said, if you guys want information on this stuff, I can try and get a link for each of them. It might be a little bit before I post it all in the description, but I'll try and get to that when I can. Make sure you like and sub. Thanks, guys.